from Wisconsin State Patrol, Outagamie County Sheriff's Department, the Wisconsin Transportation Builders Association, and Northeast Region's own work zone safety engineer, Josh Falk. They'll all be speaking shortly as well. First, I want to thank all the civil engineers, contractor, inspectors, law enforcement, and first responders. You are the front lines of work zone safety, and this event is to help you do your jobs. We appreciate the difficult, demanding, and dangerous work you all do to keep our work zones safe. And also special thanks to the media with us today. Your presence ensures that these critical safety messages reach drivers across Wisconsin. Without you, our efforts to change driver behavior and save lives would not nearly be as effective. Also with us today is the family of 41 foremen featured in the new Work Zone Safety campaign. Bob Ritter and his family and his 2 children are on the billboards in the 41 Work Zone. The new billboards drive home the message that every worker in a work zone is someone's family, and their safety depends on a driver's choices. We thank the Ritter family for helping us spread the message of work zone safety. One of our speakers will have more on that in a moment. We are here today because of work zone safety is not optional. It's life or death. In front of me are 10 cones representing the 10 lives lost in Wisconsin work zones in 2024. Each ribbon stands for a parent, a spouse, a friend, or a coworker who never made it home. The sobering truth is that in 2024 across the United States, there were more than 800 work zone fatalities and 45,000 injuries. Right here in Wisconsin, we saw more than 2,100 work zones crashes, resulting in hundreds of injuries in addition to those 10 lives lost. Behind the statistics are real people, our friends, family, neighbors, doing the essential work of maintaining and improving the roads we all rely on. That is why I urge every driver, slow down, stay alert, buckle up, put your phone away, every trip, every time. Today you'll hear from people you know firsthand that know the firsthand dangers of reckless driving in work zones. Their stories are just not numbers, a report. They're reminders of the responsibility that we all carry when we get behind the wheel. Our first speaker understands the importance of safe and transportation network. Wisconsin DOT Deputy Secretary Scott Lowry was appointed just about a year ago. Scott's not new to the DOT. He has decades of experience in the DOT and oversees the department's operations and biennial budget of more than $8 billion. It is my pleasure to introduce DOT Deputy Secretary Scott Lowry.
Thanks, Tom. It's a pleasure to be here with all of our transportation partners, the WBAY, the contractors building Highway 41 behind me. I can always tell when somebody introduces me that's about the same age because he just throws out like random facts like decades. Where I was at an event early this morning that explains that Ty, he went into detail. Scott started as an intern in 1987, and so people were quickly doing the math, realizing how old I am. So again, thanks everybody being here. Special thanks to our DOT folks, our consultants that are working on this project, and we got Outagamie County, we got State Patrol. All of us coming together unified to help improve safety in our work zone is so critical. This morning, or on the way up, and actually last night I was looking at some numbers. I get an email every day on every time there's a fatality, I get it. And so far this year on state highways and roadways, we have 408 fatalities on the roadway. That does not all work zone, but that accounts to 1.5 fatalities every day on the roadways. And yeah, not everything can be prevented, but if we can, like Tom said, put the phone down, pay attention, especially in the work zone, obey the speed limit, we can reduce that number down to again, we have a drive for zero, but we won't get to zero. That's not, I guess I'm saying it's not realistic. But again, there's certain little things that we can do to make sure everybody gets home each and every night. We're grateful, and a little bit as far as the budget, we're grateful that Governor Evers and the legislature had the fourth biennium in a row increased budget for transportation. It funds projects like this one behind us, Highway 41, and it does take years in the making to complete this, and I know there's years ahead of us. And so again, that's another focal point to improve safety now and carry it on into the future. Because everybody that's out here on these projects wants to go home each night. like Tom said, it's somebody's mom, it's somebody's dad, it's somebody's sister, somebody's brother, that they're just trying to do their job and they want to get home. They want to get home to the loved ones, and that's what everybody wants, where they want to be. A little bit this summer, actually, up on this quarter, we ran some public service announcements on some gas station, little video message boards. So again, a way to get the message out. People don't always listen to the radio stations that we want to advertise on, but everybody's got to get gas, and most likely people love Quick Trip, so they go there. Some other things that we're doing from a technology standpoint is having a queue warning system. So if there's going to be a line of traffic that alerts people that are coming up to it, we have signs that post what somebody's speed is at in relationship what the posted speed is at. So sometimes you lose track of your speed and you can go a little bit faster than maybe you should be. So things like that, I think technology as it grows, I think we're going to be using it more and more. And we see it not just in work zones, but in all our projects. And to close, again, I want to thank our partners at WTBA, because they've been, the last couple of years in particular, they've been very forefront and forward with, we need to get out and not just have work zone awareness week in April. Let's do this every month through the entire construction season, because, we joke a little bit about Wisconsin construction. We have 2 seasons, winter and construction season, but we pretty much start in the spring, and we'll go all the way probably up through Thanksgiving is most likely where we'll end up. So again, thanks for everybody's time. I'm glad everybody's out here today. And Tom, are you coming back up for the next person?
Thanks, Scott. Appreciate it. We have many law enforcement and emergency service partners with us today. Today I'd like to introduce, it's my pleasure, Captain Nate Borman from the Outagamie County Sheriff's Department.
Every flashing light, every orange barrel, and every warning sign in a work zone is there for a reason: to protect a person trying to get home at the end of the day. This isn't just about avoiding a ticket. It's about making sure that highway workers, emergency responders, and our fellow drivers all make it home safely. The Outagamie County Sheriff's Office and all local law enforcement remain committed to doing our part to keep work zones safe. We remind the public of our increased enforcement in these work zones. Please do your part by reducing your speed and avoiding distractions while traveling through work zones. Thank you.
Thank you, Captain Borman. Our Wisconsin State Patrol closely works with law enforcement to keep our highways and work zones safe. Please join me in welcoming Lieutenant Luke Newman from Wisconsin State Patrol, Fond du Lac Post.
Thanks, Tom, and thank you to all our traffic safety partners here today. Work zone safety depends on all of us. It requires a shared commitment to prioritize safety and make responsible choices every time we get behind the wheel. It's up to all of us to continue to give construction crews a safe workspace and to make sure that they go home to their loved ones each night. We understand that road construction can cause unexpected delays, but speeding through work zones is extremely dangerous for workers and fellow motorists. The Wisconsin State Patrol has been and will continue to patrol work zones in the Northeast region, especially I-41. Speeding, distracted driving, and aggressive behaviors are some of the top causes for crashes in the work zones. All of these crashes can be prevented. The Wisconsin State Patrol works every day to ensure safe roads, especially through work zones where highway workers are out building and repairing our roads. You often see our cruisers near work zones slowing down traffic and enforcing the rules of the road. Through aerial enforcement, we have pilots who can easily spot drivers who are speeding and driving recklessly, and we are using this strategy and will continue in the work zones along I-41. So far this year, the Northeast region, our troopers and inspectors have issued over 17,000 warnings and citations for speeding, with 1,000 plus of those in work zones. Speeding puts everyone on the road at risk. Please slow down and plan ahead. Make time for possible construction delays. Use the 511 app or online to get real-time traffic updates and plan your route accordingly. Stay alert and avoid distractions. Put your phone down. State law bans handheld cell phones in work zones and areas of emergency response to protect construction workers, emergency responders, and officers like our State Patrol troopers and inspectors. One quick glance at a text could end up taking a life. And be sure to give construction crews and emergency responders plenty of space to safely do their jobs. Our goal at the Wisconsin State Patrol is to enhance public safety through education and enforcement. And we rely on our partnerships with the local law enforcement agencies to keep our roads and communities safe. But we need everyone to work together to commit to safe choices on the road. Our goal is 0 deaths in Wisconsin roads, and we need your help to achieve that. Thank you for all of you doing your part.
Thanks, Luke. From our partners in industry, we're honored to have the Wisconsin Transportation Builders Association with us today. For more than 85 years, WTBA has served its members through state and federal advocacy, industry expertise, and a commitment to problem solving. WTBA is responsible for the new Work Zone Safety Message campaign on I-41 featuring the Ritter family. Here representing WTBA is the Director of Communications, Lane Kimball.
Well, thank you, Tom, and thank you to Northeast Region for hosting this event. I don't come from a contractor or a construction background myself. In fact, if you've seen me before, and many of you have, I've been right here behind a camera taking pictures, video for WTBA. So for 12 years, I worked in television news as a reporter, as an anchor, as a storyteller. And one of the first things you learn about crafting a really good story is how to hook the viewer. And you don't have much time, especially in TV. You have like 10 to 15 seconds. People are easily distracted and impatient. And that sounds a lot like drivers, actually, as well, distracted and impatient. So this is the third year we've expanded our work zone safety messaging from just 1 week in the spring to every month that our crews are out there building and maintaining thousands of miles of roads. And that's been fantastic. WSDOT, State Patrol, county sheriff's offices, police departments, county highway commissioners, they have all been wonderful partners, each with a story and a message to share. Our Work Zone Safe Wisconsin online platform, that's been great too. Nearly 3,000 young drivers have taken that course since we launched it in early 2024. But, as we entered the 2025 construction season, we felt like we could do even more. Try something new to hook our viewers, in this case drivers, out there on the roads. And much like somebody scrolling through news stories on their phone, doom scrolling, you have just a few seconds to capture their attention. If you don't, they're on to the next thing, right? So how do you do that on a freeway where people are going 70, 75, 80, 85 miles an hour? Well, it didn't take long for the answer to become obvious and apparent to us. We said, let's go old school. Let's do a billboard. So we had our idea, right? That's great, but what message do we put up on that billboard? Well, something else you learn as a journalist is the best stories are about people. Saving Private Ryan, Pride and Prejudice, Toy Story, Top Gun, Beauty and the Beast. Can you tell I have young children? It doesn't matter. The best stories revolve around characters you care about and people you root for. So we knew our billboard had to be more than just a few nice words, a stock image that we put up there. It had to have that human connection to really be real. Well, thanks to a few incredible WTBA partners, in particular the Walbeck Group and Michaels Road and Stone, found a beautiful young family willing to have their faces and their names plastered across a 48-foot wide billboard on I-41 and a perfect backdrop for our pictures, Michaels Road and Stone's Northland Avenue Overpass project as well. And it was an easy sell, actually, for our members. They preach work zone safety, and they were excited to give this story a shot. So in July, our billboards went up on I-41, just about 4 miles north of here. You can see them right out there, and I'll show you guys this here. Here they are. They're much bigger than this in real life. But the message is simple. It's Jaden and Elias and Bob Ritter with his sons there saying a simple but poignant message. Slow down. That guy in the vest, that's actually our dad. He's a real human being. And if these people look familiar, it's because they're here. They're right back there hiding a little bit. But please, let's give a round of applause to Bob and his wife and children as well. Thank you. So I asked Bob while we were out taking the pictures this summer, I was like, Bob, do you think this is really going to work? Like, can we get drivers to actually care? And he was honest. I give him credit. He was like, I think so. And then he went, I hope so. And then he paused again. He was like, Lane, look, all we have to do is reach at least one. And this has been effective. This has been worth it. So it's impossible to know at this point if the billboards have been a success. They've been up a couple of months. And it's also impossible to get every single driver to care. We recognize that. But I have to believe, seeing this young family, seeing that young family there, those two little boys, their pop on that billboard, it has to get somebody, at least one person, to slow down, put the phone down, pay attention. Because every single work zone in our state, every single WTBA member company that we have out there, they have employees just like Bob. They're working hard to make their lives better for their families. They want to get home to kids like Jaden and Elias. And for them, it's not just a nice message. They're real people. It's their lives. It's their stories at stake. So please think of Bob and his family and all the workers out there every time you get behind the wheel before you jump in a car. Thank you.
We turn to the engineering side of safety. Northeast Region's own Josh Falk, our work zone safety operations engineer, will share some of the tools we're using on I-41 and across the region to reduce crashes and protect lives. Josh?
Good afternoon, everyone. Lane closures are a part of every road construction improvement project work zone throughout the state. With the presence of lane closures within work zones, they can reduce traffic capacity, causing stopped or slowed conditions with fast-moving shock waves. End-of-queue crashes are the most common work zone crashes seen due to stopped or queued traffic. As a result, drivers are faced with transitioning from free flow speeds to slow moving conditions and need to react unpredictably and potentially erratically. In an effort to learn more about preventive work zone solutions, WSDOT applied for federal aid grant back in December of 2015 to deploy Q work zone systems, or QWS, on 2 different statewide projects. Since then, WSDOT has utilized QWS systems on more than 100 different projects throughout the state. This includes this year's Northeast Region improvement projects on I-41 in Fond du Lac County, State Highway 57 in Door County, State Highway 441 in Winnebago County, and the I-41 freeway expansion project in Brown and Outagamie counties. The Q warning system's deployment consists of a series of speed sensors, a system controller, and a PCMS, or a flashing beacon sign trailer. With real-time vehicle speed detection, PCMS or FBS trailers are activated upstream of the stopped or queued traffic. With low speed threshold, when the low speed thresholds are met, similar to the messages you see behind me currently, warning drivers of the upcoming traffic conditions. Statewide, based on years of experience, the overall benefits include: warns drivers of the reduced speed conditions ahead, reduces work zone crashes, and also reduces driver anxiety of the work zone. Reduction in the work zone overall crashes, as well as injury crashes due to the rear end collisions, can be seen in comparing the work zone crashes on improvement projects when a Q warning system wasn't implemented versus the projects when one was. Overall crash reduction on projects with the Q warning system implemented are reduced by 31%, and overall injury crashes reduced by 63% when comparing projects statewide. Recent studies by Texas Technology Institute also shows 18 to 45% overall reduction in rear-end collisions with the use of the Q warning systems. The overall idea of implementing a Q warning system for a given project is to give as much advance notification to the traveling public of the ever-changing traffic conditions immediately ahead of them, prior to encountering the end of the queue unsuspectedly. So behind me, you will see, let me spin around here. So on the PCMS boards back here, on the left board, you will see a stop traffic message. So if the current traffic on the roadway section of the roadway that drops below 20 miles per hour, the following two-phase messages will be displayed on there. On the rightmost board is slow traffic. If the current speed of any downstream section of the roadway is between 39 miles per hour and 20 miles per hour, the following two-frame messaging will be displayed on those PCMS boards further upstream. The digital speed reduction system. The system consists of digital speed limit signs mounted to trailers with beacons that are placed prior to entering the work zone on both inside and outside shoulders. In addition, there is a message board placed prior to these trailers that when the speed limit is reduced within the work zone due to the lane closures, that will be activated when the message alerting drivers that there is a reduced speed ahead with the actual reduced speed shown. On the speed limit trailers, the beacons activate in a flashing manner as seen whenever the speed limit has been reduced to help gain the attention of the drivers entering that work zone. This system also reduces the exposure of traffic control workers in needing to set up static speed reduction signs. Currently, WSDOT is implementing these systems on various construction projects across the state, including the State Highway 441 project in Winnebago County and State Highway 57 in Door County. Another tool in our toolbox is truck or trailer mounted impact attenuators, or TMAs. These vehicles are energy absorbing devices attached to the rear of vehicles that are placed within the work zone that primarily reduce the severity of impacts from errant vehicles entering into that work area. That also helps keep workers safe with this type of protection. These are just some of the many work zone systems to assist in keeping our work zone safe on a daily basis. Thank you for your time today and continuing to help make our work zones as safe as possible.
Thanks, Josh, for the hard work you do to keep our work zones safe and to save lives. As we conclude, I'd invite all of today's speakers in the front for group photos. Members of the media are welcome to interview them one-on-one following the program. Before we close, let me leave you with this message. Work zone safety is everyone's responsibility. Each decision we make behind the wheel can save a life or end a life. Let's commit to making Wisconsin roads safer for workers, drivers, and families. Thank you for being here, for sharing these stories, and for standing with us to make a difference. Thanks.
All right, can we get everybody back there to come over here? Everybody who's here right now, come behind. We're going to get a group photo, and we're going to do it from atop the car over there. Can I get to the Ritter family, please?